Welcome into the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty, where today we are on the road in Tucson, Arizona, trying to avoid a trap game to the Arizona Wildcats. And this is a team that has not recovered since we obliterated them last season. 24-0. They went into this game still with hopes of the playoffs and with the Pac-12 Championship. But as we more than doubled their quarterback's interceptions on the season, we ripped that away from them, laying the goose egg and coming away with the victory. And we'll have a chance to get after the same quarterback in Levi Fullington, who this year has not had as good of a season. Comparing his numbers to last year, his completion percentage is down 5%. He also has a worse touchdown to interception ratio. The only good news for him is he has a slightly higher yards per game. But with all the motivation to try to do the same thing that we did to him last year and rip away our chance at the playoffs and at the Pac-12 Championship, he has a pretty solid team around him. At the running back spot, you have Phil Radovich, who's not had a fantastic season, but they do have a very key guy on the offense in Philip Umenyiora, who has 270 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns on 26 carries. In the receiving game, he has 30 more catches, 500 more yards, and 3 more touchdowns. They'll definitely look to Tim Saragusa down by the end zone. He has 8 touchdowns, but their main guy is Terrell Pratt, who has 48 catches. They'll look his way majority of the time, 713 yards. And defensively, they've got some key guys as well. At linebacker, Clarence Rich, 67 tackles. TFL-wise, they got 3 guys up front to keep an eye on: Chabera, Nzegwu, and Adebayor. Adebayor, being a little bit more of a balanced guy, also leads them in sacks with 9.5. And while your quarterbacks are running around, Philip Bredesen loves to pick off a ball. Kicking-wise, they have a freshman in Manny Meeks, who is 100% on the year, a very promising young kicker here in college football. But with just 2 games left in the regular season, our Cardinals sit with the number 2 seed, currently listed to go to the Goodyear Cotton Bowl and face either the USC Trojans or Georgia Bulldogs. But if we are to see that happen, we've got to beat Arizona. We've got to then finish against Notre Dame. And unless something crazy happens, we've got to beat USC for our first Pac-12 championship in quite some time. So with the stage set, it's time to get this one underway. As the kick is off, it is Salmon back to return, and he will let it go through the end zone. The Cardinal will start at the 25. The offense a little bit sluggish last week against Oregon. We saw a rotation of quarterbacks. It's time to get back healthy and back to dominating opponents. As is Montreal Dog with a carry gain of 4. He needs just about 70 yards to reach 1,000 on the season. He's really had a fantastic year. With a 2nd and 6, they get motion. Good blocks on the outside. Dog checks underneath 1 and picks up the first down. He tried to truck a ghost. Perhaps he hits that a little bit harder. It's a bigger game, but a first down can't complain. Thompson checks in to follow, as his lane's not as big. Abel meets him down the middle. It's only a gain of 2, and Montreal Dog will check back in. The 2nd and 8, Moses goes in motion, as they will look to throw the ball downfield, tipped away, and an injury along the defensive front. Nzegwu will exit the game. That could be a big miss for the interior of this Wildcat defense. 3rd and 8, making a change here with 2 spread either side. And then handing it off Montreal. No, not Montreal Dog. It's Thompson who comes up 2 yards short. An interesting call there from Coach Barrington, or perhaps that was from draft. They tried to attack the weakened interior, but they leave the offense out here at the midfield line. Draft will look to keep it, cutting up and picking up the first down. Was a good play from the corner to drive down, nearly made the stop, but about a yard too late. 1st and 10 as they go with the play action roll. Throwing, it's out to Aneni, who's going to get about a gain of 1. Surprisingly, passing game has actually opened up less yards than the running game has. So 2nd and 9. They go back to said running game. Dog bounces off a weak tackle, takes a good pop at the end. And we'll end up forcing a 3rd and 2, which is 32's specialty. Kramer checks in at fullback. They go his way, and he's got plenty of blocking, rumbling and rolling down inside the 20. And now Adebayor also shaken up for the Wildcats. That's 2 of their 3 dominant front 4 guys out of this game. We'll have to check in on them as we move along. As it will look to be a pass here, tossing it up for Gomez, who does not get the catch. It was a great job from the defender to rip it out there late. Gomez just wasn't able to survive the ground, so 2nd and 10. As they go back to Montreal Dog. He'll rumble for about 5, but a flag comes in. The Cardinals hurt themselves a lot last week with these holding calls. And it looks like they're going to have another as they get a hollow with it. So 2nd and 16. 2 spread either side here for draft. As they'll look to air things out a little bit or let the receivers open up the middle. He scrambles. And they'll end up picking up close to the first down, leaving 4 remaining. Empty set this time. And they throw it to the outside. They found George Ball down to about the 3. And it looked like that might have even been an option play for draft. He could have ran it if he wanted to. 1st and goal, they bring out the big boys. And Dog stuffed at the goal line. Wildcats barely bring him down in time. Maryland I formation now. As they're going to motion Thompson to the left-hand side, make that a little bit of a spread blocking look. And Dog is into the end zone. You barely stopped him the first time. Good luck stopping him the second. Cardinal, they get a touchdown and take the lead early on here in Tucson. And unfortunately for the Wildcats, it looks like they have had fans switch sides in this one. Perhaps they'll be hitting the student transfer portal in the offseason. Cardinal have taken a 7-0 lead here, and it's time for Levi Fullington to hit the field. Asher has only had 1 interception this year. He had 3, if not 4, against him last year. Cassius Sampson provides the pressure, but he immediately tacks Asher. And with the falling defenders, Pratt is trying to sprint away. Tim Easy will catch up to him, but it's way downfield. Inside the 20, they finally mark him down at the 16, and the Wildcats are going hurry up here. Perhaps the offense saw the fans cheering for the Stanford Cardinal and decided it's time to turn up. At the 16, Fullington trying to find an early answer on here. Goes across the middle, it's back to Pratt, who gets upended, but a flag will negate the play. A big blow to the momentum swing there for the Wildcats. 1st and 20 back at the 26. Double A-gap look here for the Cardinal. They hand it off to Radovich, who's going to gain a couple to the left-hand side. Leaves it 2nd and 18 with a tight single back set. Corners everyone stepping down. They go play action. Flooding the right side of the field, and here comes Sony Fotu. He had 2 sacks, if not even 3 last week. The Cardinal wrecked the day for Scroggins, the Oregon quarterback. And they'll be looking to do the same here against Fullington, just as they did last year. It's 3rd and 29 with an empty set. They got many guys downfield, and there's the first of the day. Newcomer to this group, Tim Easy. He gets the pick. Cardinal take over at the 24. And that takes the tally to 7 interceptions on Fullington with this Cardinal defense in about a game and a quarter. Handing it off to Montreal Dog, who trucks through the defender. He's been known to lower the boom. We'll find out if he ends up lowering the boom on Sundays as well. The 2nd and 5. Coverage actually looks pretty good, so Draft will take it himself. Picks up a good block. It's another one from Moses. He's still going, but ran out of steam. They catch up to him down at the 25. But considering he got pulled from the game last week due to some wear and tear issues, looks like he's looking pretty good to start this one. With a 1st and 10. They go to the wide receiver screen. This time Moses with a couple blocks. He'll pick up 5. And the Cardinal are right back into the red zone. With a final play here of the first quarter, they go Montreal Dog, who will maybe squeeze out 1 or 2. But ultimately a very Cardinal first quarter. They got another pick on Fullington. And with a strong touchdown drive to open the game, they are on top. 123 rushing yards to -9, only 15 passing. And as the Wildcat support group, that's letting the team know how they're supporting him right now, which is not going too well. They expect better. 3rd and 4 as we start the quarter with a throw to Aneni down to the 1. Cardinal nearly get the touchdown there. Instead, they have to bring out the big man group yet again. Maryland I. And he follows the two fullbacks and Montrell Dog. He's got another. And that was with both Nzegwu and Adebayor back in the game from their earlier injuries. And if that's going to be the case for how this game goes, it's not a good sign for the Arizona Wildcats. And we're just starting this second quarter. As they go to Radovich, it's Thad Smith with the tackle. With how Fullington has played in these matchups, they might need Radovich to carry him. Gonna get a free 5 here as it's an RPO flip and hopping over the incoming defender. It's a first down. And Arizona could go ahead and decline that penalty on Cantwell. Good play made from the receiver. Back to Radovich, who slips past Shaw's tackle, picking up 3. Now really at this point, all that the Arizona Wildcats have to do is just prove that they could have a simple, steady drive. Barely getting that one out to a wide open receiver. Soft play there from the corners. Actually make that one corner, one safety. Pua and Asher are both over there. Neither one came crashing on it. Arizona goes hurry up, trips to the right-hand side as they delay the handoff, and Radovich gets destroyed. He takes a monstrous hit from both Sony Fotu and Cassius Sampson. Will end up having to be a punt. We take over at the 32, handing it off to number 32 with a cutback lane, and again rolling over these defenders. Cardinal with a second and short. They bring out the fullback in Kramer and hand it off down the middle. Short run for Dog. The Wildcats force a third down here that they need to pick up a stop. Kramer still in at fullback. As they go with a triple option, it's out to Dog. Decent blocking on the outside from Blouse. A little stiff arm heading out of bounds at the 43. And after some hard-earned running, they'll give him a break. Thompson checking back in here, still keeping Kramer out there as they go with a roll. Coming across, a jump ball for Blouse. With moves like that, he could be going to the NBA as well. Boxed out the defender and brings it down. It's 1st and 10 as they go back to some play action. Dumping it out late, they find Aneni, who's got about 8 more. Cardinal perhaps trying to get a little bit more of that passing game involved with a 2nd and 2. Looks like Draft getting a call from Coach Barrington, changing up their play as they go play action. Opens across the middle, but ball comes out late. Gotta be lucky that one wasn't picked off. But to make matters worse, it was also an illegal guy downfield on the play. So 2nd and 12. As they go with the tunnel screen to Vallejo, maybe gaining 1. But Cardinal definitely backing themselves up here with a 3rd and 11. 2 spread either side. Thompson, the running back, as they tried to set up the screen, just simply ran out of time. It's 4th and 11. Ritter nails the field goal. Probably could have put a little bit more on that to make it safe. But it's a field goal for the Cardinal, putting them up 17-0 and a total of 41-0 in the all-time matchups here, at least the last 2 seasons. And I'm sure that number is sitting in the back of the heads of a lot of these players out here who just want to find something. Sony Fotu tracks down Radovich. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Empty look here for Fullington. Bunch to the left-hand side, 2 to the right. As he looks that way, and Asher swats it away. And that play just looked a little merciful from the senior cornerback here, who, as we mentioned, had multiple interceptions on Fullington last year. 1st and 10, they go to Moses on the jet sweep, who will turn up and pick up about 5. And that'll give the offense a quick breather as we hit the 2-minute break with a 2nd and 5. Bursting through the gap, there goes Montrell Dog, trying to outrun Abel, and he will until the safety tracks him down at the 22. That run will make it certain Montrell Dog surpasses 1,000 rushing yards on the season. I'm not sure if we were able to do that with Parrish or not. But either way, he's come in and really taken a hold of that running back 1 role. He'll get a breather as they go to the tight end screen here to the right-hand side. Gomez not going to get by Abel, but picks up 5. And that takes him down to the 16 inside the red zone. Get motion on the left-hand side. And some play action. Throwing it to the left, they got Moses. as he angles a cutback lane and he fights through 3 more defenders. It's a touchdown on the board for the Cardinal, and this score line is looking very familiar. With a PAT, once again, Stanford up 24-0 on the Arizona Wildcats. A little bit of a different record this year for the Wildcats, but still not good nonetheless. They do manage to nearly pick up the first down there on second. Crowd boos as they're marked just inches shy. Pass to the outside, a good ball and a good catch. Arizona will call their second timeout right thereafter. If they just let Fullington rip it, if he's not in his own head, he might make some plays, but Sony Fotu, he's not going to let him scramble around. Gets back to him, climbing back up the pocket. It's 2nd and 11 as they go with a true receiver stack to either side. Go with the slants there. No, it's a slant in, then cutting up the seam, first down. Good route there from Tua Session, as that just completely beat the cover 2 look of the Stanford Cardinal. They first and 10 here at the 34. Fullington going back to pass and getting the catch again. Session. They have to call a quick timeout, their final one, and with 8 seconds left, field goal. Arizona's on the board. It just took about 6 quarters for them to finally get at least a point back here on the Stanford Cardinal. As we head into halftime, the now complete scoreline is 41-3 in the last 2 matchups, and we still got a half to go. And it was a dominant first half for Montreal Dog. 114 rushing yards on 13 carries. He's got 2 touchdowns, averaging about 9 yards a carry. The senior has gone off for the Cardinal behind a strong offensive line. Defense showed up big. Tim Easy, the young freshman corner red shirt, he got another pick, adding it up to 7 total against Fullington. Pratt made a big play in the first half with the biggest gain for the Arizona Wildcats. Unfortunately, it just have not done enough in these games to really make it competitive. But as they start the second half with possession, a chance to try to make something happen out of this game. Fullington's got motion. The tight end goes from left to right. Play action as they look to find a big strike out the gate. No one quite opens up. He dances around, but eventually the big DT and Pashal will bring him down. And despite being the academics that the Cardinal are, apparently they're also really good at crumping. They show that from the early, 2000s or so when that was popular? That's a throwback, but it looked good. With a 2nd and 15, they go with a read option, and Pua knocks the ball free. Asher scoops it up. Cardinal will take over at the 14. Another turnover in the pocket of Fullington, and I think he's losing the support of his home crowd. Utter disbelief. With a 1st and 10, Cardinal could easily look to extend their lead. Montreal Dog still out there taking some carries. I'm sure Coach Barrington has a number he's looking for before he starts making some big substitutions. Going back to Dog, bursting to the outside, a gain of 5. And of number 5, the safety wasn't there. That might have been 6 more points on the board. They force a 3rd and 4. Bunch to the right-hand side, rolling, and Draft will take it himself, taking the contact. I'm sure Barrington will have a word with him on the sidelines of why not to do that. But a 1st and goal, and Dog just short. He was trying to find his 3rd touchdown on the day. Instead, Thompson checks in here for 2nd and goal. Draft taking another look at things. As he hands it off, they'll give him the touchdown. Another score here for the Cardinal as we make it 31-3. And 31 appeared to be the number Coach Barrington was looking for. Mass substitutions here for the Cardinal. They are only up by 28, so we'll still see if they stay on out the whole time. As it's a dump-off ball here for Radovich. We'll turn up for 7. And some of the names we're going to see out here are a bit familiar. Roseboom going to lead the linebacker group. Pashal still out there. Lord as well. Going to get a little bit of playing time in both the base packages and in the pass coverage. And of course, Atkins making the stop there. Started this year at safety. Pua's taken over for him in the last handful of weeks. It's 3rd and 6 here with a throw to the flat and out of bounds before he picks up the 1st. And in a surprising move, they just punt the ball away. They don't go for it on 4th, so the offense comes out. Savoy is at quarterback. Thompson, the running back, he just had a touchdown and no one blocked on the right side. Clarence Rich gets the easiest tackle of his career. It's a loss of 4. Throwing to the right-hand side is Cop Bargava. That might be his first catch of his career. He's been a return man for the Cardinal this year, getting a chance to actually show what he could do out at receiver. With a high ball brought in George Ball. Good pass, though, by Savoy. Kept it high and above the underlying defenders. As they look downfield, it's Savoy looking for Vallejo, but it's broken up. Perhaps a little bit more mustard on that, and it's a touchdown. Instead, 2nd and 10 with an incomplete pass. They go Thompson, who gets taken out by Byam. He's finally out there getting some snaps at center. He's been on this team for a while, just never had a chance to really crack the starting lineup. Throwing to Aneni, who was running backwards, and is going to come up about half a yard short of the first down. And I don't think it's any surprise here that the offense stays on the field. It's 4th and 1. The second team offense is out there. Savoy will keep it as he takes it for the first. And the crowd here in Tucson letting Coach Barrington know exactly what they think about that. Some boos coming in. But the defense has to be able to make the stop. Simple as that. As they get motion up front, Thompson takes it to the outside. He's more of their elusive back who still packs a punch. Runs through the defenders there to make sure they got the first. It's 1st and 10 back inside the red zone. And they hand it off to Kramer, the fullback / tight end. He rumbles for 10. Just simply taking what is given. Under 20 seconds left here in the quarter. They go RPO. It's out to Vallejo. They missed him on the touchdown earlier. They get him on the RPO. Vallejo will add on to the already dominant Stanford lead. Make it 38-3. The second team offense has already outscored the starters here for Arizona. With 11 seconds left in the third, they'll go with a delayed handoff and a tackle down the middle. That one went to Levine, who's getting some snaps at DT. Takes us into the fourth quarter in dominant fashion here. And it's safe to say the Cardinal have beaten the speculation that this might be a trap game. 38-3 as we start the fourth quarter. With a 2nd and 9, and they get a receiver left wide open. Session, he's trying to outrun Salmon, but he comes flying up from behind to take him down at the 10. I'm sure someone in the crowd is just begging, like, please, even on a big play, we still didn't do enough. 1st and goal here, Fullington will throw back corner, and there it is. The first touchdown scored by the Wildcats against this Cardinal defense, and it took nearly 2 full games. And Fullington now has a 1-7 touchdown to interception ratio. Cardinals can take the field starting at the 19. Vallejo scored last time in motion here. He takes a jet sweep, bounces it to the outside, doesn't pick up much of a block there from Ball. It looks like Coach Barrington letting this second team go to work. All plays are an option for him. They're not trying to just run out clock as Thompson runs it for another first. He will most likely be taking over as the starting running back next year will be his senior season. The stretch to the left-hand side. And about another gain of 5, however, a flag down. And they're going to get Fernandez over at the right tackle spot. So 1st and 19, the Rather. As they look to set up the wide receiver screen, barely getting it out there. George Ball takes it for a short gain. He tried to find the corner, couldn't quite turn it. Sulai checks in at running back here for 2nd and 14. As they roll to the left-hand side, high pointed ball again, George Ball, and he gets speared. If the defenders weren't as tight, a good ball placement for Savoy. Unfortunately, it turned into a hospital ball on a 3rd and 14. As they'll throw to the right-hand side, and getting the catch is Harvin. It's been a while since we got to call his name. He saw playing time as a true freshman. He was then redshirted his 2nd year, so technically in his 3rd, finally gets another catch. And Thompson picks up yet another 5. Steady rushing all day today for the Stanford Cardinal. They go back to him, and he's got about another 10. Make that about 13. Dog went over 100. He's closing in on about 50 himself. Kramer in the backfield as well as Thompson as they go with a play action. Throwing downfield and caught Vallejo. Good ball again from Savoy, keeping it high and away from defenders. They first and 10 and play action under pressure. It's going to be a sack. Loss of 16. Vaccaro gets the credit, but there were several guys there as the Wildcats brought the blitz. Flag already down here. This play just started. As it's a nice ball for Nenny. It would be a first down, but it looks like, again, this one coming back. This time they get Kona Osgood, left guard, with the holding. So second and 26. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. As they go with some play action and under pressure. That ball barely travels anywhere. But it makes Matthew Stafford's checkdowns look like a Hail Mary pass. It's third and 26. And Nenny in motion. Safety coming down on the left-hand side. Got to watch the blitz, which they don't send, but instead clean off the edge is Montgomery. It's going to be a sack for the Wildcats, and they finally stop this Cardinal offense. So with 3:42 left, can their offense get anything going here? Just for some late game Pat stats, try to correct a little bit of some woeful play. Fullington check down. Roseboom is all over it. He's a smart player. He just unfortunately got outclassed by some talent that came in after him. Kind of is a key player that you could see join the defensive staff after he graduates. He's done a great job of helping coach up a lot of these young guys. It's third and 3. As they pass downfield, not able to break it up, Atkins. Well timed, just wasn't able to jar it free. So first and 10 with a first down toss for Fullington. As they look to the outside and quickly out of bounds goes Pratt. Leaves the Wildcats with a second and 4 as they go with a spread look here to either side in a stack form. Cook is doing some weird shuffling out there, but apparently that works out as Fullington just throws it away. So third and 4. They get trips to the left-hand side. And across the middle, Roseboom breaks it up. If they throw that a little bit quicker, maybe it's a catch instead. Fourth and 4. As they go back across the middle, this time he beats Senior. Atkins there to chop him down, but first down by midfield. The Wildcats will have 2 minutes to figure out some more points here. 38-10. As a quick throw, and all over it was Senior. Gave up the catch on the last play, makes up for it with a good play on first down. Throw to the right side, Roseboom clocks him. A good job from 12 to hold on to it. He picks up another first down here for Arizona, who are marching. Pass across the middle, diving catch. Where has this been all day? Eggy, who had the catch there, had the touchdown the last drive. Perhaps it's because they're playing against second-team defense, but nonetheless, inside a minute to go. Good blocking up front. Another catch. And they're getting just about everyone involved here. Names we haven't seen all day long. With a second and 1. Letting the play develop and throwing out of the back. 16 seconds left. And it's a third and 1 for Fullington, who dances, buys time, and gets rid of it. A rush was arriving, and it's now fourth and game. Spread empty look. Cardinal look to bring the blitz, throwing, and a touchdown to just add on to the stat sheet. But ultimately, we all know the winner of this one. So Void and the offense could come out here for one final kneel. And ultimately, the second team put out a lot of good work. They put on one extra touchdown. 38-17 is the final score line. And the Stanford Cardinal have dominated the Arizona Wildcats in back-to-back seasons. Montreal Dog got about 1, maybe 2 drives in the second half. 122 rushing. He dominated today. Could have had a third touchdown. They decided to give that to Thompson. Really good play here in what could have been a scary trap-type game, as the Wildcats were very angry coming into this game with a 24-0 scoreline last time. It'll be even worse next year. Well, focusing in on this year, we get a Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week for Sony Fotu. 4 TFLs, 3 tackles, 2 sacks. As per normal, these stats don't add up, but we finally get him back into the Pac-12 Player of the Week, something he racked up a lot of his freshman campaign. And we'll look for him to help lead us into our final game of the regular season, Senior Day, as Notre Dame comes into town. Now, they have climbed up to number 22, so we've got another ranked battle here before we get to any sort of postseason play. And speaking of postseason play, I believe with that win, we should have clinched our spot in the Pac-12 Championship. If we take a look here at the conference standings, we are at the top 9-2. USC obviously 10-1. Conference-wise, they have lost a game. We won all of our conference games. So, even if we lose, that will not affect our standing here in the conference standings. We will still be the only undefeated Pac-12 team. So it should be lock and key. Girl, I've said that before and things have gone awry. So not gonna say it until we see it next episode, but no matter what, we should be heading to the Pac-12 Championship. And with Tulane, Oklahoma, and Alabama still doing very well, they still are locking us in the Cotton Bowl for the college football playoffs. But that is only going to be the case if we win our conference championship, though USC is also still in here. So there's a possibility, again, even if we lose one of these games, we still might make it. But obviously, we don't want to do that. We want to finish strong. And to do that, this team needs your support. So hit that bear icon in the bottom right or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. Senior Day will be on Friday. We're also here every single Monday and Wednesday. Jaguars every single Tuesday and Thursdays. We got a lot of big games. We round up a final thank you here for our seniors, and we've got a lot of key ones. We'll talk about them next time. At home against Notre Dame to solidify our spot in the playoffs, in the Pac-12 Championship. We will see you then.